Hey, what's up, everybody? Dustin Matthews here. Welcome back. Today is a special day. Today is our 22nd day of 30 Habits in 30 Days. And if you've been following this so far, the first 21 days have been stackable habits that we do each day. Today is the first day in the series where we will be doing one of our challenge rites of passage once in a while type of experiences. Okay. These aren't habits that you have to do every day. They're just things that we can do every once in a while to get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more self awareness, a little bit more inner guidance and connectivity with our heart, our soul, our mind, and aligning all of those things so that we can live more fully and authentically as our truest selves. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is values. Okay. Values are basically our core guiding principles that orient how we see the world and behave in the world. Okay. They're very closely related to like our beliefs, right? Usually our beliefs are shaped based on what we value. For example, it's like if I believe that health is important, it's because I value health. If I believe that telling the truth is important, it's because I value truth. What we'll do today, I have a few different activities that we can do. All right. But basically it breaks down to three different things. All right. First, we need to find what our core values are. Okay. And when we're trying to find what our core values are, some people, you might think that you already know what they are. It's love, it's family, it's friendship, or it's freedom, it's courage, it's self expression, or it's truth, it's curiosity, it's growth, or it's achievement, it's success, it's wealth, or it's health, it's belonging, it's connection, whatever they might be for you. And obviously, I think we can have a lot of different values come to play a role in our lives in different seasons and different times of our life and in different situations where circumstances might push you into having to choose between this or that. Do you choose truth over, peace and love? If you're in a relationship and there's something in the relationship that's causing friction and the truth could hurt that relationship, what do? Do you tell the truth knowing it could hurt the relationship? Or do you continue that relationship to try to keep the peace and keep things together, even though you know you're withholding the truth? So there's a fine balance in learning how to live with our values. And I think it's important to understand values and how they drive behavior and shape how we view the world so that we can learn to live in more alignment with what our values are. So, the first part of this three-step process for today's activity will be identifying what our core values are. You can either do that by just making a list freehand off the top of your head, writing down what you think they are for you, or you can take a values assessment online. I'll make sure that I share a link in the description and I share a video recording of when I went and took that yesterday. Okay. So if you want to watch that, I think I might be able to figure out how to create another video so you can maybe watch that video. Second, if you come up with your values on your own or you use that values assessment on your own, and once you get those values, try to get like 3 to 5 of your core values figured out. Okay, so I've been trying to do this for a long time. And what I found my core values to be were love, truth, love, and wisdom. Once you figure out what your core values are, you want to try to figure out, find some verbs, some action words that help you bring your values to life. Okay. How do you live your values? And if you have a whiteboard like I do here, I would suggest write it down. do a little brainstorming activity. Get all your thoughts out. Write down what your core values are, and then write down all the different ways that you can express those core values. If you don't have a whiteboard, a piece of paper is fine. But what I would suggest is you can either watch the video I did. I'll attach that where I did the tree exercise, okay? And you'll be able to see the tree exercise as a way of finding different ways that you express your values. Okay, so we have basically the inner world of our values and guiding principles, and then we have the outer world and how we behave and how we act, and basically how you would express and live those values. So you can check that video out. What else? And then basically we just want to kind of audit our own life and behavior and habits and figure out where we are in alignment with our values and where we might be out of alignment with our values. Okay, so that way you can kind of reflect and see, if my deepest value is truth and I feel like I'm withholding my truth and not expressing myself truthfully, I'm not communicating honestly, I'm not being honest with myself, maybe that's something you need to reflect on and look at. Or if it's courage, if you value courage, but you don't take any risks and you live in fear and you kind of shelter yourself from trying new things, but you value courage, maybe you need to ask yourself, where can I live? How can I act with more courage each day? How can I maybe set a goal where I overcome a certain level of fear? Okay. So there's different things that you can do based on what your values are and how you want to live them. Okay. So that's the 3-step process, basically. I'll make sure that I share another screen recording of the 3-step process that I came up with in a Word document. And I kind of follow along. I do the voice recording over top of the screen share. So you can see, I'll walk you through the worksheet. I'll figure out how I can put all of those in here. I don't know if they're all going to be in the same video, just at different times. You know, maybe I'll do that and you can kind of follow along the 3 different values exercises. Just brainstorm it, which is completely fine. A little bit of guidance where you use the already created online assessment to find your core values. And then you do the little whiteboard treatment or a piece of paper treatment that I did. And then the last one would be if you wanted a really structured way of following exactly what we're supposed to do. There's a Word document I created. I'll attach it as a free PDF, and you can print that out, check it out, and follow through by hand. Okay. So any way that you want to explore this is fine. It's the value that you'll get from this is actually doing it and kind of excavating your own heart and mind and doing this as a practice of self-discovery. So what I would encourage you to do after watching this video is go watch the video where I did the tree exercise, okay? Because that was me kind of showing you how to do this like freestyle. It was me doing it, just thinking about how I would teach this and how I used to teach this when I was a professor, when I was a career counselor, and when I was a high school teacher. So there's different ways of learning and teaching, and I'm trying to give a few different options for people. So if you need a little bit of that guidance in finding your values, you can check out the website to do it on your own and follow along with that. If you want to just do it freestyle, you can watch the video that I did and then try to just come up with your own way of doing it. And if you want something really structured, you can go to the end of that video where I'll attach a screen recording and my voiceover of the worksheet, and then you can get the free PDF down below. So that is the challenge for today. Okay. It's basically discovering our core values and how we can live those values. All right. So the last assignment I created was, it's called the values, verbs, alignment. All right. And what our values are, when we live our values, there's another word for it. It's called virtues. Okay. So it's a little bit more philosophical, but basically the core values, the way that we act and behave over time in alignment with those core values turn into our virtues. So it's like for me, truth, love, and wisdom. What are the virtues of those values? For truth, it would be honesty, authenticity, integrity, Okay. For love, it might be caring, helping people, speaking kindly, friendliness, kindness, compassion, empathy. Those are all different virtues of love. And then wisdom, it would be, righteousness, uh, dignity, patience. What else? Peace. All right. So there's different virtues for these things, but you can basically figure that out through coming up with your own verbs. All right. Figure out what actions you can take. Because the truth is, folks, whatever you discover naturally on your own is going to be more beneficial than any of the words that I tell you. Because words that I tell you, they might help you get some ideas and some thoughts in alignment. But when you experience it for yourself, when you have that intuition come online and you connect the dots on your own, that is when you're embodying wisdom. Okay. So that is the experience that I hope to give people is go try this for yourself, because what you discover on your own will be a lot more valuable than anything that I'm telling you. Okay. So you will be developing and connecting, coming online with your own self, your own inner wisdom, your own inner guidance. Right. And that is what I believe to be the most important thing you can do in your entire life. Okay. So I wish you the best. I hope you give this an honest try. Okay. Sit down, give yourself half an hour to an hour and actually go into it and try this out. Okay. So thanks for being here. I wish you the best. Good luck today with the first day of our 9 challenge rites of passage fun experiments. All right. All right, everybody. God bless. Good luck. See you later. Papa!